Let there be light. How did humans get to the light bulb? Let's find out. Hi, this is Will. Welcome to the InnovAU channel. In the beginning there was sunlight in the day and moonlight in the evening. But control over light is something that very few animals have been able to do. Now you've got the anglerfish, for instance, who has a built-in bioluminescence, but other than that, animals can't really control the light that they need. Early humans made the discovery of fire and its ability to create both heat and light. Now fire is great, but fire needs a fuel source, and wood tends to burn fairly fast. While cooking meat, humans discovered that the fat from the meat dripped into the flames and made a flare-up. They thought, hang on, this fat actually seems to make the fire stronger. And this discovery that fat made the fire stronger allowed the first creation of the oil lamp, where humans would soak some moss in oils of fats of some kind from an animal, put it in the hollow of a rock, and when they lit it, it would last for much longer. Now, of course, exactly when this happened isn't particularly certain. People tend to think it's maybe around 70,000 years ago that people discovered this sort of oil-based fires. But as the years progressed, so did the technology. And by about 1000 BC, we were using materials like dry rush, mixed with fats such as olive oil in the Mediterranean, ghee in India, and pooled petroleum in Persia. They'd also gotten better at the technology behind effectively utilizing the wick by ensuring that the wick rested in a groove slightly above the oil. And as early as 420 AD, oil lamps were starting to light up streets. The world was starting to become brighter, but of course, there was nowhere near as much light pollution as we have here today. The final advancement of oil lamps saw the fuel source change a couple more times. Whale oil was extremely popular in the 19th century, though in around 1850 it had been replaced by the cheaper kerosene that we're familiar with today. The technology for the oil lamps had improved too, with the kerosene kept in a mostly sealed container with the wick, now commonly cotton, sticking out the top of it, so that a slow and controlled burn can happen. And kerosene lamps have been used quite commonly, both indoors and outdoors over the last couple of centuries. Go to someone's house where they have an outdoor pool and you might see some for decoration. Now, it wouldn't be a video about light without visiting one of the most common primitive style lights we see around today. The candle. Whether it's a happy birthday or whether you just enjoy the candle light itself. Candles are everywhere. And they're no newcomer either. They've been around for about 5,000 years, having been found used in Egypt and Crete. They work by having a wick slowly burn while suspended in solidified wax, paraffin, or fats. They do produce a very aesthetic and beautiful look with the subtle flickering of the candle flame. Candles can be found all over the place, as I said, at birthdays, but also they're very common with religion. Now, another common use for candles is to put scents in them. In this case, this one is filled with a Hawaiian scent, whatever that is. It's going to light up and freshen up my room. Another pre-light bulb style light that was used quite commonly was the gas light. It's been found to be used as far back as 500 BC in China, where bamboo pipelines would transport brine and natural gas. Gas lighting was an easy way to light up large areas, as gas could be easily pumped over longer distances, so it was ideal for street lamps. Gas-powered flame is still very common today, though now instead of using it for light, we mostly use it for cooking and heating, as the flame produces a very fast and stable heat. Around the same time that the kerosene-powered oil lamps were becoming common in the 1870s, several people were working on the idea of the electrically heated filament kept inside an evacuated glass bulb to create an instant and safe light. The light bulb moment. And many people think instantly of Thomas Edison as the inventor of the light bulb. And while he had a big part to play in its rise to popularity, he was actually beaten to the punch by Joseph Swan, who applied for the patent for the light bulb of the style still used today in 1879. Though of course, people had been attempting to invent the light bulb since at least 1802. Edison had tried to patent his version of the light bulb a year after Swan and was promptly sued. Though to settle the case, Edison made Swan a partner instead, and the Edison and Swan United Electric Company was born in Britain. The light bulb works by passing electricity through a carbon filament suspended inside an evacuated glass bulb, and the resistance of the filament to the electrical charge creates the glowing light. As the carbon filament has a melting point of over 3,650 degrees Celsius or 6610 Fahrenheit, the heating of the element is nowhere near hot enough to melt it. Instead, we get the nice steady emission of light. Unfortunately, the original filaments Edison used, which were cotton fiber carbon filament, tended to degrade over time and burned out after about 150 standard operational hours. By switching to the longer-lasting bamboo-based filament, this life was extended to about 1,200 hours. Eventually, many more improvements had been made, and modern incandescent bulbs can last anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 hours. The main reason that the filament actually burns out is from turning light bulbs on and off, as this is where the charge peaks. And I find this really interesting. It's not actually the continuous burn that destroys the filament, it's the peak on and off charge. So because of this, there's been some light bulbs around the world that have lasted well beyond that 2,000 hours, just simply because they haven't been turned on and off. According to Guinness World Records, the oldest surviving working light bulb in existence was installed in 1901. It was installed in a fire department in Livermore, Pleasanton in USA. Being installed in 1901 means that it's been working for 117 years, and apparently still going strong. You can see this bulb still lit at the rather outdated website www.centennialbulb.org. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now these days, it's getting a bit hard to find an incandescent light bulb. They're dying a slow death. But many technologies have replaced it. So you've got fluorescents, LEDs, halogen lights, and a variety of others. But to find out more about these, you'll have to watch the next video in the series, which I'll link up here somewhere. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. Tap subscribe and hit the little bell icon next to it to be notified of new videos. Also, you can add to the discussion by putting your comment in the comment section down below. It'd be awesome to hear from you. InnovAU. Invent, innovate, and create your world.